listening to DORiS Radio.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on
You're listening to DORiS Radio
DORiS
on
WHCP.
Welcome back, guys. This is Tashana Phillips, and you're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP 101.5 FM in Cambridge, Maryland.
Hey. Man, Tashana, it has been absolutely awesome, getting to learn about you today and hearing your story. As I just was sharing with you off air, your energy is so uplifting, empowering, and but we don't always feel that way. And you've shared some moments, even if you were portraying it outside, it wasn't always reflected on the inside. And our overarching theme for this season is mental health. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to know what your personal self-care routine looks like in your life, if you have one.
Okay, so on Mondays, I do not do anything for the most part. That is go get my nails done, just sit and be quiet in God's presence. Body scrubs, candles, those type of things. But just being able to have a free mindset, just to be able to create in my mind, be able to dream and think, like, to me, that's self-care. And so because I have that freedom, not because I am an entrepreneur, but I have that freedom because I've found that time that in the busiest times, you could take 5 minutes out of your busy day and just go be quiet. And so to me, even though working from home, I have to take that time and just go sit and be. And so, like I said, Mondays I don't do nothing. But when you're getting out of that space, those spaces of just doubt and not understanding, go through that season. Go through it because you're going to grow from it. And you have to really, really get into in some positive spaces. Like, I know a lot of people aren't going back and forth to church because they are dealing with some church hurt and stuff, but there are people around. You just really have to go out outside those doors and familiarize yourself with people, even if it's just a simple hi. You never know where a hello is going to take you, right? So when it comes to mental health, really get around some good positive people. And sometimes you may have to investigate in a good space, but that's where the bar is set right there. Like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be free from society standards? And so I think, like, once I put society standards to the side and begin to see who I truly am, it took me to separate. It takes separation. So, like, you go back in the Bible, Jesus took time by himself quite often. Because he needed to be in the Father's presence to hear what God was saying. So I literally would suggest to anyone, just take 5 minutes and just breathe. Just breathe. Listen to your favorite jam. But get away from all that chaos from time to time. Just 5-10 minutes out of your day. Just spend some time alone, whether it be in the shower or whatever it may be. But if you can get in a good circle of people that are willing to love on you and care for you in spite of, that is going to help your mental health soar. That's a couple of the things that has definitely helped me mentally, just being in those spaces and being able to grow. Being able to grow, like putting those seeds in the soil and watching them grow. Like, it takes time. And so that's the thing. Time is one of the most precious things we'll never get back. So you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional with that time. So, like I said, if you go spend 5 minutes by yourself, all right, cool. Leave that cell phone wherever it may be. And just be. That's like it. I would definitely encourage you guys. Like, when's the last time you went and stuck your feet in the grass just to be a part of Earth? Ooh. Just to ground yourself. I know a lot of people do yoga.
I gotta
and things
go
like
do that now. Like,
I love it. Like, it's one of those things where you touch a tree. Like, yesterday I was sitting outside and I have like this little succulent, and I began to talk to it. Hi, how are you? Just to nurture it, to love it. And next week, that thing probably sprout real crazy just because someone has given it
pouring
attention.
Into it.
Yeah, so you got to give yourself attention. You have to give yourself just a little bit of attention to the point where you can tap into who you are. So right now, I'm literally walking into the authentic me. And not saying I don't care about people's views, because I do to a certain extent, but not to the point where it's going to shape my life as to who God has called me to be.
Not enough to let it deter you.
No, you can't.
That's
So
it.
once your mind is set on something, stick with it. It's going to be hard.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have hell and high water.
Uh-huh.
Go through it. Because it's going to, that fire is going to refine you. That fire is going to refine you. And you got to know, like, at the end of each road, you may not see the end, but it's really not the end.
Uh-huh.
You just got to keep going. So I encourage you guys to keep going. Go out there, love on a tree, stick your feet in the grass, whatever it may be. But, like, whatever it is that's going to keep you artistic, whatever, because we are born to create.
Uh-huh.
Period. Because, so, you know, like back in Genesis, what God told Adam and Eve, create.
Uh-huh.
We are creatives. Only from God can you create, truly create. And you can create who you desire to be. And that's what I'm doing now. Just being myself and loving who I am. Loving who I am.
Create who you desire to be and
Yeah.
love who you are.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
These are I got so many affirmations out of what you just said that I'm going to keep with me. And I think about something you said earlier about keeping all of those things that were imparted by your grandparents and your aunts when you were younger, and keeping that with you today to get you through these moments now. I wonder, is there anything that you could share with us that comes to mind that was imparted to you by them that is something that you fall back onto from time to time?
God.
Come on.
That's it. He's the source.
Uh-huh.
He is the source. Like, that's it. I tap into God. I get around women who love God, who honor God with their life. It don't look religious. It doesn't look like Christianity sometimes because it's that personal relationship. And so, if, like I said, if I could take anything from them, it would be tap back into God. Allow him to do whatever it is he got to do. Because I go through a lot of pruning seasons. Seasons where things have to be stripped away from me.
I like that. Pruning season.
Oh, yeah. I got shirts coming soon. Currently pruning.
Hey, we need it.
I got some
pruning?
Yeah. Merch. You got some merch coming soon. Currently pruning. For real. Because and if you're not, I think it's John 15:5, and it tells you that he is the vine. And we are the branches. And right now we're in fall. You see the beautiful colors. Things have to die. In order for you to live. So, look, God is it. He the one. He is definitely the one that powers me.
Damn. Man. When we met last week, I asked you one of our questions preemptively, but I'm gonna put it out to you again since some time has passed. Would you, if you will, share with me about the last time that you cried?
The last time I cried was yesterday.
Tell me about it.
So actually the day that I met you, I cried. I told you I cried. All right. So I was talking to my business coach yesterday, and she was like, I don't know how to prepare for this. She was like, what you mean? She was like, Tashana, you're already ready. I was like, now I start crying, right? And I'm on video chat, but I'm crying because I'm happy. There's been a prophecy spoke over my life that the next 30 days, including now, I would experience joy like I've never been before. Only because I was able to release things. Like I said, that pruning season. So because I'm pruning, God is able to allow me to see him and his joy through every single thing.
And even crying is a release. You release it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And don't forget, like, God counts every single tear. You're not crying in vain. You're not crying in vain. You know, so all of those tears are counted. And so for me to cry tears of joy, I just didn't think I'd be in this space. Just a year ago, mentally, I was definitely, I never been suicidal or anything like that, but I definitely was depressed. And sometimes depression don't even look like depression.
That's it.
Sometimes you could be functioning right in depression, you know? And so I had did that for a while, but to be where I am today, I'm already rich. I don't need money to show me that I'm rich, right? It's nice to have money because that's a resource. That's how we're going to help people. But in all things, God is everything. in all things. God is everything. So I've been crying tears of joy just yesterday, and probably when I leave here, I'm gonna cry.
That's beautiful.
I'm just emotional.
I think that is all too powerful. You know, you laugh about it, but I find that, and oftentimes people who are the most positive, you know, are dealing with a lot on the inside and don't have a way to, you know, allow themselves to have that release. And so I think it's important for people to see, 'cause, you know, people who know you, knowing how positive and bubbly you are, seeing that vulnerability also, I feel, is very important. Because as you said, not all depression looks the same. And so there may be some listeners who have a depression that looks like yours, and they might not have seen that reflected elsewhere. And so it's important to be open and honest about those things and letting people know that it is okay and that you can get through this.
Exactly. Yeah, I really am a living testimony for not just myself, but many. I had a friend today text me, was like, you don't realize what you're doing is like, it's impacting so many people, and you're inspiring people you don't even know. And so to hear that, it's like, it doesn't make my head big. If anything, it shrinks my ego.
It's like, you know, that's for a purpose.
It humbles me. It humbles me even more, you know. So with that being said, I just keep my eyes down, keep focused on God for real. Yeah. But it's okay to cry, y'all. It's okay.
Let it out.
Yeah, let it out. But hey, you can do that in your private time.
Yup.
In that wind down time. Let it out. And it's okay.
For my final question, it is not a question per se. It's more of a statement. Complete the sentence for me. Someday I'll.
Someday I'll look back at this radio interview and I'll see my growth. Not only will I see my growth, but I'll be able to come back and tell you how many people, well, not how many, but because I don't think there's going to be enough hands to count how many people I've been able to impact by just being myself, being honest, and loving people for who they truly are.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I know it is, and I look forward to that conversation.
Yeah.
Tashana, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For sharing your light
Thank
with
you
us
for
today.
having me.
Please. And again, first of many. Can't wait to have you back. And tell the people where we can find you online.
All right, guys. So you could definitely follow my business page. That's DeCarlaStreets.com. And so in the links below, you'll be able to see all of my contact information. My personal page is CEO Tashana Phil. So you'll be able to see that as well. Definitely be sure to connect with me. I'll get back with you, or someone from my team will be able to get back with you for DeCarla Streets. And yeah, like, let's go. Like, let's go. Yeah, like, meet me in the comments, in the DMs, be able to connect with me. And if you have any resources, share resources. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to pour out to people as well.
Amen.
Yeah.
Let's do it, y'all. We're going in with our third and final track. Tell me about Big by Pastor Mike Jr.
So Big, basically, like I was saying earlier, it shuts those walls down of boxing God in. Just like you just asked me, how big? It's going to be big. So I definitely,
no limits.
It's not. It's no limits. And so I think once you get into that space and you allow God to show you that there is no limits and you can do all things through Christ that strengthen us. And then not only that, like, for those who love God, like, all things work out together for our good.
Come on now. 316.
That's why you got Big. It's going to be big.
Beautiful, beautiful, y'all.
Yeah.
We're going into it with Big by Pastor Mike Jr. And this has been Tashana Phillips. You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP 101.5. Keep it locked.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to DORiS Radio on
Listening to
WHCP.
DORiS Radio.
DORiS Radio, WHCP 101.5.